Yes, Sheldon?
Per the student dress and grooming code, this boy's hair is too long. This boy is wearing sports attire outside of a designated area, and this girl's blouse is diaphanous, which means I can see her brassiere.
Thank you. I will take that into account. All right. We have a few minutes before first period. I need y'all to fill out these forms. What?
Also, in violation of the grooming code, on page 48, Article 5, subsection B, you have a bit of a mustache.
This is a stupid idea. This boy does not belong in our school.
Come on, Vicky, it's just the first day. Why don't we all just take a deep breath here?
The hell with that. 5 minutes into my math class, he questioned my credentials.
How am I supposed to control a classroom when a kid accuses me of being in breach of the hygiene code?
Well, Hubert, it wouldn't kill you to shower a little more often. George, you want to weigh in here?
Well?
Oral Roberts University is a wonderful school.
He said I was intimidated by his intelligence.
Well, in China, 2.5 billion students. If we times 2%, over 5 million. And in Shenzhen, we have 2.47 children. By children, I mean those kids started from the primary school, from kindergarten to high school. If I times 2%, that's over 50,000 to 100,000. It's a huge one, right? And this figure is only from IQ test, not including other special talents such as leadership, memory, sports, and arts. Wow, so that's a big number, right? But lots of talented students disappeared because of education, because we do not have proper education. So we consider them a very weird students, problem students, right? So how to identify and how to educate them is very, very important. So here comes the question. How to identify and select all those students, how to educate them, how to assess the effectiveness of our education on gifted education. And above all, what can we learn from the best practice of other countries, like from Vietnam and from Canada, from other countries and regions. So I want to learn from you. You must have some good practice. So what can we learn from other best practice? So we can do some collaborations on this. Let me just explain a little bit about the background. You know, in the old days, in 1960s, when I was born, in 1960s and 70s and 80s, sometimes we classify students by their test scores, in 1970s till 1990s. Then people start to complain. Complain about what? About the educational fairness. So then we start to question about the educational fairness on classified students. They say, no, this is not good. We cannot classify students. Why? Because we need to be fair to every student. Because at that time, the money is a big problem, right? We need to make sure everybody, every child, get the appropriate education. So the parents complain about that, and the society is complaining about classified students. So then we canceled, we delete the class A, the A class, B class, the gifted student class. No, then we deleted, it disappeared. But now China starts to consider this again, because China has reached to this kind of stage, because almost 100% of the children can get the free education, the 9-year free education. And for universities, it's about 60% of the students are able to enroll in the universities now. Now, it is the right time to do this again, to consider the education, the special education. So another trend, this is my guess, my prediction. Education, when it moves forward, I think in the soon future, it will go to cater for varied learning experiences and individual differences. Right? Yeah, I think this is a trend. This is a tendency. Because with the high technology, educational technology, disruptive technology, and with the economic development, now we are able to provide the different educational necessities to different students. Let me give you an example. Give you an example about the architecture. In the old days, you will never see this. You will never see the iron rod. For the city people, and then you have to carry this, right? But in the old days, we say, no, we don't have money to do that. we need to this is okay. This is okay, right? And this as well. In the old days, we never see this. But in Canada, when I was there in 1990s, then I feel very, very, surprised. Well, these are the special kind of devices catering for individual needs, right, of the civilians. In education as well, there are so many students in one classroom, like 60 students, 40 students. Every student is different. Every student is unique, has a unique name. Every student needs to be recognized, needs to be seen. How can you do that? In the old days, we won't be able to do that because it's almost impossible for a teacher to have a class of 60 students. You want me to cater for everybody's needs? Very hard. But now we start to small class size, and then we have some money to allocate it to these type of special kids. Then that's the right time. So coming back to this, so for education fairness, now it's a higher level fairness, right? It's a higher level fairness. With the higher educational technology, we are able to provide different individual education to different students. Now, then I have many sub-questions. First, we have to understand what is gifted education, right? Gifted education is about exceptional students. It's about prodigy. It's about high achiever. Yes or no? Yes or no? Either yes or no. I just raised this question for you to think. What is gifted education? What should we include? So high achievers, you work very hard, you get a high score, but you may not gifted. You're not gifted. You may not get it. I work very hard, and I can get 100 score. But when I do IQ test, maybe not, right? And also IQ test has a lot of conflicts, had a lot of arguments. I know in China, schools are not allowed to do the IQ test for the students. I'm not sure whether in Vietnam, the same. You know why? Because when you do the IQ test as a teacher or as a school, then it is discrimination. Only when we say that kid is problem, that kid is difficult, that kid is not mischievous, then the parents feels very concerned. The parents is worried. Then the parents took the child to the hospital to do the IQ test. Then say, look, my child has a high IQ. How can you call my students a problem students? So think about this. I'm thinking about this. I'm trying to clarify this in my research project. Then how to identify and select them. How? How can you identify? Through exams, Yes or no?
Yes, if they have test score.
yeah. This is one of the ways, right?
But it's a traditional way, but I think that in today, not many students and not many schools that approach this method.
Yeah. It depends on what kind of exams that you have, right?
Yes.
I think this is good, but maybe it's not enough. IQ test, various competitive tests, national tests, international tests, Olympic tests. Is that good?
Yeah, good.
Yes?
School recommendation.
Or school recommendations? Can we do that? Is that a good idea? Community recommendation, like the parents and the community living in the same area. They say, this kid is very special. We recommend this kid as a gift teacher. Is that okay? So what kind of method, how to identify and select them is a big, challenging question, right? We need to think about it. I'm not sure whether how you practice in Vietnam. And how to train them is also how to educate them. I showed you the video clip. That teacher don't know how to educate young children. We do inclusive education. We get them together in the one class with other people, other students. Is that okay? Separate education, enrichment program, starting from primary school to university education. We have to do it continuously, right? But how? How can we do it? Sometimes in primary education, we do things differently. Then in the secondary school, then we have different students. We are not doing things coherently, consistently. Then that's a problem, right? So how can we do that? We have to do this. Parent, teacher, society, collaboration. For gifted child, sometimes it's very, very important to have a good parent, like young Sheldon. Young Sheldon, they have very good parents. But they also have good teachers, right? Eventually, they also have good teachers. How to evaluate the effectiveness? The government spent a lot of money to this group of students, but it is effective. We have to evaluate based on target, based on student achievement, based on employment quality, based on social contribution. Any other dimensions? We need to think about this. Okay? So that's all the things, how to train teachers as well. Because honestly, I do not know how to educate gifted child because I'm not trained for this. But I know, according to my experience, in my past 60 years kind of experience, I can see some are very good, right? Lack of teachers to train the teachers. So we have to train the teachers first. We have to train the parents first, the parents as well. And how to build a strong and large team to train them, to educate them. And most importantly, talking about technology. I just want to continue. How we can use technology to cater, to meet the individual needs. This is another question, right? Yeah, okay. So this is my project. I'm just here with my team. Actually, there are some others, they haven't come, to seeking for collaborations with our psychological experts, education technology experts, and also we can all contribute together to find out the questions we have in mind. Okay, that's my presentation. Thank you.